Hello, welcome back. We're still in the library, still in the same shirt as the last video because it's the same day. I'm going to be filming my, what month are we in? July. What I read in July and what I plan to read or what I would like to read in August. So, buckle up, let's get into it. I have some controversial opinions on some books, so let's go. Okay, I'm going to talk about these books in order of when I read them. The first book being Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I think we've all heard of this book, know about this book, know what it's about. I gave this a 3 out of 5. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I am going to continue on with it. I did pre-order the second book. But it just read too young for me. And I realized Violet is only 20, but it's still read like she was like a 15-year-old. And I think it didn't help that it was in like a school setting. I know it's a military school, but it still felt like they were in school. I don't love academic settings in books. And I think that's why this didn't really work for me. Like, I just couldn't stop picturing her as a 15-year-old, and the steamy scenes were weird to me. I don't know. I just didn't love it like everyone else is loving it. Yeah, this 3 out of 5. That's all I gotta say. So, actually, I'm gonna talk the next book. I'm gonna talk about a DNF. I only had one this month, I think, and it was Flames of Chaos by Amelia Hutchins, and this is book 1 in the Legacy of the Nine Realms series. I only made it to page 127, and I did not enjoy a single second of it. I didn't love the main character. I didn't love the hero of the book. It just seemed like there was a lot of like forced like sexual talk. And I love spice. Trust me, I love spice in books. And it just seems so unnecessary. Like the amount of talk. Like there was no really real spicy scene up until this point, but there was a lot of talk of it when there wasn't any need for it, I don't think. And just the characters, I just don't like them. And also, from the back description, I didn't realize this was like an urban fantasy. It's like set in our time. Like based on the cover, it looks like a typical fantasy, but it's not. It's set in this time, and I don't like urban fantasies. So yeah, this just wasn't for me. I will be selling this and moving on. The next book that I finished was Empire Storms by Sarah J. Maas, obviously. I think we all know. I did try doing the like dual read with Tower of Dawn, but it took me months to get just like a sliver of the way through by doing that. And so I just separated them out. I couldn't do the dual read. So I finished this 5 out of 5 stars. I love this series. Favorite series from Sarah J. Maas. I've read A Court of Thorns and Roses and Crescent City, which I did really like Crescent City for it being an urban fantasy. But yeah, love it. 5 out of 5. Then I read, or I shouldn't say read, I listened to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I have all of them, and you can't see them, but these were my brother's when he was a kid. He read them. So these were all his, and I have them now. So I just want to get through them. And I loved it. And I like knew going in, it's a young, like middle grade book series. The audio book is so good. And yeah, 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Next, I read Fable by Adrienne Young. This was so fun. I really like the setting of this book, the pirate feel of it. So I have there's like 3 other books in this series, I think, and they're slowly trickling in from Pango. So that was the last one. Next one I read Sorry, I never talk this much, and I'm like, my throat feels like it's like closing up on me. The next book I read, Never Never by Colleen Hoover. I think I gave this 2 out of 5, maybe even 1 out of 5. And it's not just by Colleen, it's also by Taryn Fisher. I read this for my July book club that I'm in, and I don't think anybody liked this book. It was just so disappointing. Like the beginning, the first half, I was so intrigued. Like the first chapter, I was like, this is gonna be great. And then by the end, everyone was just like, well, what was that? It just was just so disappointing. And then I only have, oh no, I have 4 more books. The next one is Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This was cute. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I really like these cute, easy, rom-com-y reads. Yeah, I really liked it. So that was that. And then Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. I actually really liked this. I didn't know how I would feel going into it because it's Kale's book, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. I really like the setting. I love Irene, her character, and I am so excited. I'm reading Kingdom of Ash now, and I'm so excited. I'm also very nervous. I'm like 3 chapters in, and I already can tell it's gonna absolutely destroy me. So that's that. And then I read 2 more books, but I read them on my Kindle, so I don't have, or no, I listened to one and read one, so I don't have the physical copies. So I have my little notebook. I read Meet Your Match by Candy Steiner. I read that on my Kindle, and it's like a hockey romance, and I gave that 4 out of 5. It's the first book in the Kings of the Ice series, and I think it's the only one out right now. Yeah, I really liked it. I've never read a hockey romance, and so it was fun. And then the last book, one I listened to, was Worse Than Enemies, and I listened to it because it was free on Audible, and I just wanted a book to read. I didn't have any credits. I gave it like a 2 or 3 out of 5. I still kind of don't know what to give it because it's a high school bully romance, and it was pretty, like, I didn't love the characters, but I am still thinking about them. So it's like, did I like it more than I actually think that I did, you know? Definitely check trigger warnings before going into that book. I did not love that the character, like the main female character, was only 16 or 17 in the book. That was a little weird. And like the hero was like such a piece of garbage for most of the book. It was really hard to like him. But yeah, those were all the books that I read, and now we'll move on to the books that I want to get to in August. Okay, let's get in. I'm going to just be picking them up because I have a huge stack of books that I want to get to. I know I will not be getting to all of them. It's more of just like, these are on my radar this month. There are some that I absolutely have to read this month. And then the rest are just like, if I get to them, great. If not, oh well. The first book that I will be reading, I have to read, is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I really want to read this before the movie comes out, and I think that comes out August 11th, I think. So this is high on my priority list. And then the next 2 that are high on my priority list are Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas, obviously, and A Court of Thorns and Roses. Now, I've already read this book. I've already read this series, but in preparation for Crescent City 3 coming out at the end of January, I want to like reread this series and Crescent City 1 and 2 by that time. So I'm going to start with this. I did download it on Audible. Since I've already read it, I feel like I can just listen to it and be fine. So I'll probably just listen to it this month. And then Kingdom of Ash. Obviously, I just really want to get to this because, and I've been annotating it. I haven't made it very far, and I'm already, like, I can tell I'm going to be sad. So, there's that. The next, I'll just, like, grab a handful and we'll talk about them. The next book I want to read is Nora Goes Off Script. I just want to read a cute summer book in the summertime. That's why I have that. I have one sci-fi on my list. I try to keep different genres. I'm definitely a mood reader, so I try to have different genres on my list so I can, if I feel like a sci-fi, I have it. So I want to read The Mountain and the Sea by Ray Nyler. Will I read it? I probably not. But if I get to it, then that's fun. Next, Criers War. This is on my list because it was free on, I think, Apple Books. The audiobook was free, so I just downloaded it. So there's really no excuse for me not to listen to it this month and just get it off my physical TBR. And this was, I got for $2.19 at a thrift store. Next, Harry Potter, the second one, Chamber of Secrets, I want to get to. I haven't decided if I'm going to physically read this series or listen to it. The audio books were just so good. Like, the narrator was really good. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but that's on there. I have finally picking up a Cassandra Clare. I've actually started reading this and then put it down to finish Throne of Glass series, but I want to pick this up when I finish Throne of Glass. I just like to have like a YA fantasy series on rotation. So I think this will be the next series I pick up. Then I have Magnolia Parks, which I am currently reading. Yeah, I just have FOMO, so I want to read it. And then the last four, I have Summer Darlings because I love the cover and I just want to read it during the summertime. I don't want to put it off and read it next year. I want to just do it now. So I have that. That's by Brooke Lee Foster. Then I have Rhapsody by Elizabeth Hayden. This is the, what series is this? Oh no. Oh shoot, what series is this? I have all the books in the series, but I don't remember what the series is called. I want to start this because I've had the series for a long time and I just really want to read like a high fantasy written by a woman. So I'm gonna try to hopefully pick this up. We'll see. Then I have Ellen Hildebrand, Summer of '69. I just hear a lot of people talking about Ellen Hildebrand's books recently. And I do have quite a few of them, or I used to. I think I unhauled a bit. But I want to get to it. I hear this one's really, really good. So hopefully this month. And then the last book, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I want to try to read like one chapter a day of a nonfiction because I do have quite a few that I've accumulated, but I just don't read enough nonfiction. So I'm going to start with this one and hopefully I can get through it. I'm out of breath. I think that is it. Again, just be nice, please. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one.